We're here today to talk about pugs. Pugs are the most wonderful creatures on the planet Earth. I absolutely love pugs. So I saved up some money thinking that I wanted to get a pug. I did all the research I thought necessary to get a healthy, loving pug. So I knew not to go to a puppy mill. I knew not to go to the pet store because the pet store puppies sometimes come from the puppy mill. And I thought, well, the newspaper ads might be a good place to start. So I looked, I had all the right questions to ask the breeder, and I found a woman in Independence, Missouri, and I went to her house, and of course I fell in love with this little girl pug who was running around. She was so rambunctious, she was full of life. I knew I had to have her. It was love at first sight, really. So I ended up naming her Banjo, and Banjo has had multiple problems since I brought her home. It actually started when I put her in the car because she was screaming and crying and wailing, and she didn't like the little kennel that I put her in. So I get her home, and from day one, she had multiple health problems. She had these cysts growing on her head, a cluster of cysts. And I took her to the vet, and I said, "What are these?" And he said, "Actually, I've never seen this before, but I remember them vaguely talking about it in veterinary school. I'll be right back." He comes back and tells me that what she has is called papillomatosis. And I thought, papillomatosis? What's that? Well, apparently pugs and also, what is that dog called? A Scottish Terrier. They tend to get papillomatosis too. So they had to surgically remove them. That was the first surgery she went through. The second surgery she went through was when she developed, again, papillomatosis. This time it was on her tongue. She had like 500 little blister-like cysts all over her tongue. It was absolutely horrifying. So this time they decided, well, we're not doing surgery because apparently when the papillomatosis attacks the tongue of a dog, they spontaneously disappear. It was the most wild thing in the world. She had them one day, the next day, gone. Crazy. So then that was the second bout we had. Then she started being real itchy. Every food I tried to feed her, she got sick and she would throw it up and she'd have diarrhea all through the night. It was crazy. I had to put her on a special diet food from the veterinarian because we weren't sure what her allergies were because obviously the dog can't tell you what their allergies are. Despite all this, she was a happy little girl, and she's just psychotic. She runs around the house and does this thing that the pug world calls a pugtona. If you're not familiar with the Daytona 500, that's where they get the pugtona. And it's where they tuck their little tails under, and they go racing around the house with their butt down and their tails under, and they're zooming all over the house. They're crazy. But you love them. They're just like little people. They want to be in your laps. They want to be in your face. They require more attention than a child. So I decided to get two.